Welcome back students. In this video we are quickly revising our rotational motion complete chapter. So this we have already done, and you see that we had 5 major topics here. First topic was moment of inertia, then we have learned torque and equilibrium of the under rotational motion. Then third topic was about angular momentum, and we wrote the principle of conservation of angular momentum. And fourth topic was about rotational kinetic energy and work energy theorems, all we have done. And last topic we have done recently, that's what your rolling motion. So let's quickly revise them actually. Okay. The first topic we have learned is what your moment of inertia in this topic, right? Moment of inertia. So you learned that this is simply equivalent of the mass, like whatever mass role plays in what your linear chapter, same role is played by what moment of inertia in this chapter. Okay, yes. So here we have seen 4 type of equations. The first type of equation, what you have to calculate inertia of what your point mass is, point, or you call it what discrete mass is. Means simply here, like name is not given, they say just 2 kg, 5 kg placed at some distance, you have to find the inertia. So you had a general formula for this, that's called what your mr square. If here we have multiple masses, then simply you can add the inertia of all masses. You can write simply like total inertia, you can simply add like m1 r1 square plus m2 r2 square. It goes on, you can do like that, right? So point masses equations are always very simple. Okay, even distance is given negative, you put here, it becomes what positive. So inertia is always what added. Okay, right. Second type of equation we have done here. This was the first type of equation where point masses talk. Second type of equation we have done is what your regular or symmetrical bodies, right? Regular bodies, right? Like a sphere, solid sphere. This 9 object total I have discussed already, right? Those are what your symmetrical objects or regular objects. So for these we have what 2 theorems, right? We follow these 2 theorems and find the inertia about what any point, right? Yes. So first theorem is called your parallel axis theorem, and second is called your perpendicular what axis theorem. Parallel axis theorem says that inertia about any point is what inertia about center of mass plus what md square. Inertia about any axis, right, is simply inertia about what center of the mass of that object into what md square. D is the distance between the axis where you are rotating and axis passing through the center of mass of that body, right? Okay, this theorem we can apply to all type of bodies. Parallel axis theorem is applicable to what 2-dimensional body, 3-dimensional body, any type of body you can apply. But this theorem, perpendicular axis, this is applicable to only what 2D bodies, right? This you can apply to anywhere. So here this theorem says inertia about z axis is always equal to inertia about x axis plus what y axis, right? And these two will be always equal. So you can also write that Iz will be always 2 times of Ix or 2 times of what Iy. Yes, this is applicable to what 2-dimensional or what plane bodies, like you talk a ring, you can talk a disc, square sheet, rectangular sheet. These you can apply. You cannot apply to what like solid sphere, hollow sphere. No, but this theorem is applicable what everywhere, right? Yes. Okay, third type of equation we have done here is called what like your continuous bodies, okay, where we do what integrations. Okay, so third type of equation is called what continuous bodies, right? So continuous body means we do what integration here. So here inertia due to continuous body simply become integration of r square into what dm. That's all. Again here we have 3 type of bodies, right? Linear body or aerial body or what volumetric body means 3-dimensional body. So suppose they are asking the inertia of a rod right now, then it's called linear body. So always you remove this term dm, you put in terms of what r actually. So you always talk the concept of what density, like you talk about linear, then say mass by length, right? Then like dm by what dx something, right? You choose an element of small mass dx at place a distance of what x, right, of length dx. Then you replace this dm always in terms of what this m by l and what dx. This is for length. If you have like aerial sheet type of, then you talk area, then you say aerial density you talk, let's call sigma, then you call mass by area concept, right? If you have 3D body, then talk about density means mass by volume concept you talk, right? Same way you can write and do integration. Okay, third type of equation continuous body. Fourth type of equation here is called what your cutting of the body, right? One body is there and some part of that body is cut and what removed. Then they ask what's the inertia of the remaining part. So what you do here, you find the inertia of the complete body first, that's you call what I1. Then you find the inertia of the removed part, okay, about the same axis of rotation, and you take the difference of these two, that's called inertia of the remaining part, right? Yeah. So here we don't have any special formulas, just general formulas only. Whatever object is this, these means either you have to use this formula or that formula, that's all, right? Okay. These are the 4 major type of equations we have based on what moment of inertia, and their combination of these regular bodies they will ask to you. Second topic we have learned is what here torque, right? Yes, torque topic we have learned. Torque is equivalent to what force, like what in linear chapter, whatever role is played by force, same role is played by what torque in this chapter. Okay, okay. Here we learned first the basic formula of torque. Torque was like in vector form r cross f, right? Yes, or you write what r f sine theta. Here r and f are always perpendicular to each other. If they are not perpendicular, you take the perpendicular component. So you can take the Suppose force is here, you can take the component of what R. R is here, force you can take perpendicular to R also. You can take perpendicular component of what force also. But these two things should be always perpendicular. What R and F. Then torque again become perpendicular to what both of these. Suppose R is along X direction, force is along what Y direction. Then torque will be along what Z direction. These three things are always perpendicular to each other, right? Torque. This is what scalar form. This is what vector form. Then you know that torque you can write in terms of rotation also, right? That's called what your rotation I into what omega. Sorry, yes, I write a little long. I into what alpha. That's called inertia into what angular acceleration, right? Yes. So and then we have seen that we rightly mainly here principle of what like equilibrium, rotational equilibrium we will talk in this topic, right? Rotational what equilibrium. So under rotational equilibrium what happens? The net torque acting on a body will be what? 0. And whenever rotational equilibrium happens, the translatory equilibrium will be also there. So in that condition you also say that net force acting on that body will be what? 0. Net force in X direction, net force in Y direction will be always what? Or any direction you talk, it will be what? 0. When this is happening, when like a translatory equilibrium is there, it may not be rotational also, but when rotational equilibrium is there, there's always what? Translatory equilibrium also there. So what we do in this type of question, we choose any point where about which the body is rotating. You take the net inertia of the all due to all forces. Net torque due to all forces, and you make that equal to what? 0. That's called what? Rotational equilibrium, right? Okay. Here we have seen many type of questions. Like first we have learned toppling of bodies question. We have seen one body you want to topple, then how much force is needed. So the body will topple and it will rotate about one point, right, which is in contact with ground. So you take the net inertia about that point and make equal to what? 0, right? Then you see like the equilibrium of the rods, right? The rods is holded by like 2 strings. We have to find tension strings or supported by some bases from down or mains, their shoulder. These questions we have done, right? Yes. Apart from this, what we have done, those questions like regular bodies, like a disc is there, a ring is there, and some cord or a string is wrapped around this, then we pull that, right? This type of question, suppose this ring or disc, and we pull a rod, we apply force here, then they start rotating. So here torque is what? 1 is due to what? That force. So that force into what? Perpendicular distance always become radius of this disc or ring, right? R. This also equal to what? I into what? Alpha. So you can find the angular acceleration, you can find angular velocity, anything you can find using this concept, right? Rotational equilibrium. That was the second topic, right? Then third topic we have learned is what? Angular momentum, right? Like linear momentum in our linear chapters, here we have what? Angular momentum L, right? So what was the formula for angular momentum? You say this is simply what? R cross P, radius into what? Linear momentum. Again these three things are always perpendicular. When you have vector cross product like this way, right now means they are always perpendicular to what? Each other, right? By chance you like this formula, that formula, where 3 vectors are multiplied by cross product, if you take dot product of any 2 object, then always becomes what? 0. Like this one I say that what is R dot F? What is answer? 0. Anything torque dot R, right now answer becomes 0. Torque dot force, everything, any combination you make, all of them become 0. Same way here also, if you take the dot product of them, answer become directly what? 0. Okay, this was the formula. This you can write in what? P. Also you can write M into V. This formula you can also write what? R cross into what? V. This formula also you can write. Then same formula you can write in rotation form also, that L vector is also equal to what? I into what? Omega. This is in terms of what? Angular quantity. Inertia into angular velocity. Like linear is what? P is equal to mv. Same way you can write what? Here also, right? Okay. The main principle here you write is what? Conservation of the angular momentum. Conservation of what? Angular momentum. This rule says that when net external torque is 0, your angular momentum is what? Always conserved or constant. So you can write initial angular momentum I1 omega 1 is equal to what? Final angular momentum I2 omega 2. So you can find the final angular velocity or some unknown things, right? If you know angular velocity, you can find time also, you can find frequency also, many things you can calculate, right? Here. Okay. Then fourth topic what you have learned is what? Your rotational kinetic energy. Rotational kinetic energy. So when a body is rotating, it has what? Rotational kinetic energy, right? Okay, rotational kinetic energy. So we have learned simple formula. This becomes half I omega square. That's called your rotational kinetic energy, right? And then we have done here many small questions which we have done work energy power. Like they ask first the work energy theorem we write, right? So we say the work done is what? Work done is either you say what? Like linear chapter we say force into displacement. So here we say in terms of torque. We said what is integration torque into what? D theta. If it's a variable or constant, then torque into what? D theta. That's what you work done, right? Or work done You can also write in terms of what work energy theorem. This is called work done is simply equal to what change in what kinetic energy, right? Same also you can say work done is also equal to change in what simply rotational kinetic energy. This is called rotational kinetic energy, right? Yes, means like this one half I omega square. This is what your final minus half I omega square, that initial. Like this way also you can write simply work done by, okay. An object is what simply change in what rotational kinetic energy, or also equal to what integration of torque into what change in the angle, right? If a variable torque is variable, you write this format, torque is constant, you write this format, right? Okay, so this work energy theorem we wrote. Then we wrote other things also, like what we wrote here, power. Correct, na? Like power is work by time, exactly same formula, work by time. Here also you can write, right? No problem. Or you can write variable, then dw by dt you can write, right? This way you can write here. So power you can write one more format, because power linear chapter is what force into velocity. So force is called torque here, and velocity is called what angular velocity omega. So power is also equal to what that term also, right? Yes, you can say work by time you can write, or you can write what change in energy by time. This all format you can write for work also. Then here we'll wrote like Newton's second law. You say that force is equal to what dp by dt, right? Now means angle, momentum and force relation, right? Same way you can write what your relation. I should write here itself actually, but it's okay, I'm writing here. So let me write here itself, because we are relating force and what like linear momentum. Exactly same we relate here what torque and what angular momentum, like this way. So torque is simply what rate of change of what angular momentum, right? Okay. Then last topic we have learned here is what your rolling, correct? First we understand rolling is simply combination of two motions, what translatory motion plus what rotational motion. Okay, this is nothing but what your translatory motion plus what your rotational motion, right? So main thing here we talk in rolling is what kinetic energy. So kinetic energy of rolling is called simply half mv square plus what half I omega square. This you can also write in one shortcut form. In terms of this format you can write half mv square 1 plus k square by what r square. K is called your radius of gyration, you know. Radius of gyration formula you know is welcome root simply I by what m, right? If you want to understand in shortcut, that if you have some inertia, like inertia of a sphere is what 2 by 5 m r square, right? The root of this number and that r, that's what simply your inertia. Okay, if you need somewhere k square, then this value 2 by 5 r square, that's what your inertia in this formula, sorry, k in this formula, right? Okay, so we wrote rotational kinetic energy this much. Then we learned what is rolling. Rolling is combination of what rotation plus what translation. So we'll talk about velocities here. Then we use this word that pure rolling, correct? If you talk pure rolling means what happens, how you define this? The velocity at the point of contact, it becomes what 0. Some sphere or any object is rolling, then at this point the velocity becomes net velocity becomes 0. Here we have two velocities I have done, right? One is what linear velocity, that we write represent in terms of velocity of the center of mass. Another velocity is what your angular velocity omega, right? Then we saw that at this point the two velocities always in opposite direction, like your v cm is here and omega into r is what here. And for pure rolling these are exactly equal and opposite, so net velocity at that point becomes 0. The velocity at that point becomes double of the center of mass 2 cm. So at any point you can find with respect to that point, let me draw it again. Suppose we talk about with respect to this point, then at any general point you want to find net velocity at that point, theta angle with respect to top point, then becomes what, you know, it becomes what, any point becomes what 2 v cm and cos theta by 2. This shortcut formula we have learned, right? Yes. So okay, this is a pure rolling. Then after this we have learned what, the rolling on an inclined plane, right? The last topic we have learned rolling on an inclined plane. So when a body is rolling on inclined plane, this is the angle theta, this height s, this was slant line, right? Then we have to calculate here three things. What's the velocity at the ground, what is the acceleration, what is the time taken. So it's like sliding. Whatever happens sliding, apart from that one more term comes here in rolling, that's what 1 plus k square by r square. Suppose I take a velocity at ground, so in sliding it becomes what 2g when object is what sliding along this plane. But it's rolling, then one term comes here, that what k square upon r square, this term is what come here. Same we do for acceleration, same we do for time also, this term will come there. And then also I told you last, it's very important that when a ball is rolling here we need a friction. If there is no friction, then it will slide or it will what skip, or you say it will skid, right now. So we need a minimum friction. So how much minimum friction we need for the pure rolling? That becomes mg sine theta upon 1 plus r square by k square. The formula velocity, acceleration, time has this format 1 plus k square by r square, but this becomes what 1 plus r square by k square. And if you not need the minimum coefficient of friction, then becomes what simply tan theta So in case of like sliding, it's become mu is what, tan theta. We have learned in what, Newton's law. In this case here become what, r square upon what, k square, that term, right? That's called minimum coefficient of friction in case of what, sliding, right? So in case of what, rolling. Okay. So now we are doing a some simple comparison between what, our translatory and what, rotatory motion. Okay. Both you have done now. So let's compare them. They will be exactly similar thing if you see carefully. So here I write your translatory or linear motion. Okay. Okay. And on this side I write what, rotational. Everything will be same, all formulas, all concept, all theorem, everything will be same. So look here, first point we learn here. So here we say mass. Main thing is what, mass. The same role is played by what here, inertia. Correct na? That's called what, inertia. They are not equal, they are equivalent. Okay, whatever role this plays in translatory motion, same role is played by what, inertia and rotation. And how these two things are related, for general write that I, inertia, is simply equal to what, mr square, right? We know this. Okay, this is for point objects. Okay, then suppose the equations of motion you wrote, I am not writing separately like angular velocity, angular displacement, angular acceleration. I am just writing equation of motion. This equation generally you write v is equal to what, u plus at. Same equation you write here how? You write like omega is equal to omega naught alpha plus t, alpha into t, right? Okay. Next equation you write like s is equal to what, ut plus half at square. Same equation you write here. How you write? S is called theta here, displacement, angular displacement. Initial velocity you write omega naught simple plus half alpha into t square, same way you can write, correct. Then you write here v square minus u square is what, 2as, right? Same equation you can write here also. How you write here? You write omega square minus omega naught square is 2 alpha into what, theta, correct? Yes. Okay. Next here, these are general equation, right? No, they gives distance, time, these things in a given time, right? But here we have a special equation which gives distance travel in one particular second, right? Distance travel in nth second. So nth second equation is coming as n. How you write? U plus a by 2, 2n minus 1. This gives distance travel by a body in any one particular second, like in 10th second, 11th second. That gives this answer. Same you can also write the angle moved in one particular second, theta n is equal to what, omega naught plus alpha by 2, 2n minus 1. Same way you can calculate here also. Okay. Yes, these are the equations of motions. Then after this you learn what, force concept here from Newton's laws. Force you say is what, dp by what, dt. So who is equivalent of force here? Torque, right? So how you say that? Here equivalent of this is called torque. And what is torque formula? Like rate of change of linear momentum. Here is called dl by what, dt. That's your torque. Then you know that your force you can also write like F is equal to ma, this format, right? So here torque also you can write like m, equivalent of m is called what, inertia, here I, linear acceleration, here is called what, angular acceleration, right? In vector form you write, then you can write like that way, right? Okay. After force what you have learned? You learn linear momentum here, right? Linear momentum, that's called p. Here formula was mv, and here this thing is called what, angular momentum. Same thing is called what, angular momentum. We write L symbol, right? Yes. So what is L? General formula, look here. You can write in many format, L vector. M into what, V, right? Mass into velocity. Mass is called what here? Inertia. Linear velocity here is called what? Angular velocity. This is one formula. You can write in terms of that also how these two are related. Okay. Here also should relate like how torque and force are related. So torque is what, you know, R cross F, right? That's a relation between these two things. Okay. Yes, same way how you can write like this way, m cross, I am writing little wrong. You can write R cross P, or you can write m v R cross what, V, like this also you can write. P value putting simply mv. So angular momentum you can write like that, all this format. After that angular momentum you have learned impulse here, it's called linear impulse, right? What is impulse? We wrote I symbol, is simply change in momentum or force into what, small time dt, correct? Exactly same thing we'll call what, angular impulse. angular what? Impulse. Okay, write I symbol only here, but so what is the answer here? This is called change in what? Linear momentum. Here this will be called change in what? Angular momentum. Here is called like force into what? Time. Here is called what? Torque into what? Time dt. Right, that's what your angular impulse, right? Okay, then again here this is your translatory, and here is what? Your rotation. Okay, so let's see next point. Let's talk about now. Okay, this we have learned in what? Newton's laws, these things, force, momentum, and this impulse, all these things. Let's go to work, energy, power. We have learned about energy. So kinetic energy. Kinetic energy is called here half mv square. Half mv square. And who is the equivalent of here? It's called rotational kinetic energy. Rotational, and what's the equivalent value? Half I omega square. Equivalent of mass is what? Inertia. Equivalent of velocity is what? Angular velocity, right now? Yes. Then here you have learned work done, right now? Work done. This chapter work is your work done. So what is work? You have learned many formulas. One is what? Force into displacement, right? Like that, Fs cos theta. Okay, or okay, first you write this much only. So 10th, what is the work done here? Okay, let me write two format here, so it's better. Work done, you write Fs, right? Force into displacement if force is constant, or work done you can also write integration of force into what? Displacement, right? Two ways you can write. Okay, yes. Same way, this you write when force constant, right? And this you write that force is what? Variable. Correct? Write carefully. So here how you write work done? Here work done will be force. Who is the equivalent of force? Torque. Torque into what? Theta, your angle. Displacement is what? Angular displacement. This is torque is constant here, right? Torque is what? Constant. And if torque is variable, then write integration of t into what? D theta. Torque is what? Variable. Right? Same exactly. Okay, then you learn here work energy theorem, right now? So you learn work energy theorem. Correct. That theorem says that work done is equal to, already you learned force into displacement, F into ds, whatever. Also equal to what? Your change in what? Kinetic energy, right? Change in what? Your kinetic energy, right? Or you can write work done is equal to like half m v final square minus half m v initial. Oh, sorry, this one. So square, right? Like this. This is your work done. Same you can say here also, work done, rotational work done, or work done rotational is okay. How you will say? Oh, sorry, I am writing it wrong. Work done all dot. We are writing work energy theorem. So how you write work energy theorem here? Exactly same way. You said work done is equal to, you say what? Torque into d theta. Also equal to what? Change in what? Rotational kinetic energy. Change in what? Rotational means how you write work done will be equal to half I omega final square minus half I omega initial square. That also your work done. Change in rotational kinetic energy will be simply what? Your work done. Okay. Yes. And after work done, what you have learned here? You have learned like you can apply conservation of what? Mechanical energy, right? Now same rule you will apply here also. So here write conservation of mechanical energy. This principle you apply. Same we apply here also. Conservation of what? Mechanical energy, that you can apply here also, no problem. Then after that you have learned what? Power. You have learned power, correct? Power main formula we learn is you can write energy by time, change work by time, you write like proper work by time, change in energy by time, or force into velocity. This format we have learned, right? So here rotational power will be same way. Power will be work, again work by time only, change in rotational kinetic energy by what? Time only, or this one, look here, force into velocity. So force is called here torque, velocity is called angle. So this is also your power, right? Yes. Okay. After power, one thing I forgot here, when you talk like linear momentum, you apply the principle of conservation of momentum also, right now. So here you apply what? Conservation of linear momentum you talk, right now. Conservation of linear momentum, you say that m1 v1, right now, is equal to what? m2 v2 means this is the initial, this final, you can equate them, right? Exactly same here also you apply root what? Conservation of what? Angular momentum. Conservation of what? Angular momentum. Okay, so how you write the initial angular momentum is equal to final angular momentum. Here angular momentum formula is what? I omega 1, this called initial is equal to what? I 2 omega 2, that's what? Final. This rule you can apply, right? Yes. So this is a simple comparison between our translated and rotatory motions. Everything is same, nothing is new in real, okay? Yes. One important thing I got in mind which I forget to you, actually like in our collision topic we have learned that when two body collide there is a loss of energy, right now, and that topic I have discussed that loss in energy is coming in 4th chapter. I have discussed in that topic that comes in what your capacitors in 12th class, it comes in inductor, that collision, and it comes here also, correct now? So I forget to tell you that here, but already I told you in that chapter. So that what happens when two discs are rotating or two objects are rotating over each other, there will loss of the energy. So this point please focus little here. You have disc, one disc is rotating like this one, let's say angular velocity omega 1, inertia was I1. If you put another disc over this, rotating with angular velocity omega 2, inertia I2, maybe stays at rest also, doesn't matter. Then when they rotate over each other, there is friction. So due to friction some energy will be lost. So how much energy lost? That formula I discussed in collision topic, half I1 I2, these are the inertia of the disc I2, and omega 1 minus omega 2 whole square. So here minus or plus, minus means they are rotating in same direction, minus sign means what? Minus plus both you can write same direction, the sense of rotation will be same, or plus sign means what? Rotating in what? Opposite direction rotation, right now. Here loss will be big when they rotate, when two discs rotate in opposite direction, you know, friction will be very high, right? Yes. So this formula please write carefully in your notebook, okay? This you should write where? In your rotational kinetic energy topic itself, okay, but I forget that time. So write it here. When one disc, what's the concept? When disc is rotating or ring rotating, doesn't matter. Generally they ask disc only, okay? Yes. So another disc is placed over this. The second disc may be rotating or maybe at rest. If rest means generally it at rest actually, okay? So omega 2 term will be what? 0. Only just omega 1 square will come, right? Then friction will happen, so energy will be lost. So how much energy lost? That is given by what? This formula, and similar formula comes in 4th chapter that I have discussed in what? Your collision topic already, okay? So this is your complete revision for this topic. If you have any doubt, please put your comment, and we starting a quiz very soon. That quiz is usually we do in classroom, but right now classroom is our online only, YouTube only. So we will be posting a quiz almost weekly, twice. So this quiz is called Rajni and Ghazni quiz. It will be very interesting. So we will be posting it very soon. Watch it, and if you like, put your comments in as an answer. I will ask some questions to you based on what? Physics topics, okay? So you have to answer those things. Okay, till that I have done the rotational motion completely. So this is the theory part, and I will do PYQs, then we will give a test paper to you. Please do that. And next week we will be doing mathematics, okay, because a lot of students has asked, they have problems in vector multiplication and these things. So we will doing a quick mathematics in next week, okay. Thank you so much.